1. Introduction. My name is Pam Rivera. I was 26 years old. I worked at a hotel. My job was at the front desk. I worked the night shift. This means I worked when people usually sleep. It was a quiet job most nights. The hotel was often empty and dark. I liked the quiet. It was a simple life. One night, the weather was very bad. There was a strong storm outside. Rain fell hard. The wind blew strong. It was late after midnight. Suddenly, a man came into the hotel. He came from the storm. He looked wet from the rain. He walked to the front desk. He wanted a room. He was a handsome man. He was tall. He had dark hair. He looked tired. His name was Ken Morgan. He spoke quietly. I helped him check in. When I gave him his room key, our hands touched for a moment. I felt something strange. It was a strong feeling. Our eyes met. It felt like time stopped. It was just for a second, but it felt important. Ken Morgan took a room on the 9th floor, room 908. He stayed one night and then left, but he came back the next week, and the week after that. He became a regular guest. He always came late at night. He always came alone. He was always quiet. He did not talk much. But every time I saw him, I felt that same strange, strong feeling. Weeks passed. Maybe 2 months. Maybe 3. Ken came to the hotel many times. We did not talk much, just about his room. But the feeling was always there. One night he came to the desk, but he did not ask for his room key right away. He looked at me for a moment. Then he put something on the desk. It was a single red rose. It was a beautiful rose. He did not say much. He just said, "For you." I took the rose. My hand shook a little. He smiled a small smile. Then he took his key and went to his room. I stood there with the rose. My heart beat fast. I looked at the red petals. I did not know it then, but that one red rose was the start of everything. It was the start of a big change in my life. 2, a new feeling. After Ken gave me the red rose, things changed slowly. He started to visit me more often at the hotel front desk. He did not just check in and out anymore. Sometimes he came just to talk. We would stand there behind the counter and speak for a long time. It was often late at night, and the hotel lobby was quiet. We talked for hours sometimes. He asked me many questions. He wanted to know about my life. He asked about my hopes and my dreams. I told him many things about myself. It felt easy to talk to him. I felt comfortable when he was near. But when I asked him about his life, he did not say much. He was very quiet about himself. He never told me details about his work or his family. He was a mystery to me, but I liked that. I liked spending time with him. My feelings for Ken became stronger every day. I thought about him when I was not at work. I waited for his visits. I had a boyfriend at that time. His name was Leo. He found out that I was spending a lot of time talking to Ken at the hotel. Leo was not happy about this. He became very angry. He did not understand why I wanted to talk to Ken so much. We had a big fight because of it. After the fight, I knew what I had to do. My feelings for Ken were too strong now. I decided to end my relationship with Leo. It was a difficult decision, but I felt it was the right one. When I told my parents about ending things with Leo, they were very upset. My family is quite strict. They did not like my decision. They thought Leo was a good man for me. They did not understand my feelings for Ken. They did not know Ken. But I could not listen to them. I could not listen to anyone. I was completely focused on Ken. I was falling deeply for him, and nothing else seemed important. 3. A big secret. Their relationship grew stronger. It became a secret love. Ken and I started meeting away from the hotel. We met in places where no one knew us. Our favorite place was near a lake. We went there at night. The moon was often in the sky. We talked and kissed under the moon. It felt like a dream, a happy, secret dream. But secrets need lies. I started lying to my family. I told them I was busy or tired. I did not tell them about Ken. I also started skipping work sometimes. I wanted to spend more time with him. I knew this was wrong, but I wanted to be with Ken more than anything. My life became a secret life. It was exciting, but also difficult. One night by the lake, Ken looked serious. His face was not happy. He said, "Pam, I have to tell you something important." My heart felt a little cold. I knew something big was coming. He told me about his family. They were very rich. They had a big business. Ken was the heir. This meant he would get everything one day. This was a surprise. I knew he had money, but not this much. Then he said the most difficult thing. "I am engaged," he said. My happy dream broke like glass. Engaged? To another woman? He said her name was Vanessa. He explained that the engagement was not for love. It was for his family and their business. It was a deal between two rich families. He had to marry Vanessa. I felt terrible. My head was spinning. Ken was engaged. He was going to marry someone else. All our secret meetings, our kisses under the moon, what did they mean? This was his big secret, and now it was my secret too. The happy dream was gone. The truth was hard and cold. Ken was not free. He belonged to another life, another woman. I should have left him then. The truth was clear. He was not mine. He could not be mine easily, but I looked at him. I saw the man I loved. I wanted him too much, so I stayed. I stayed with the man who had a secret fiancé. Our secret love continued, but now it felt different. It was not just a happy secret. It was a painful one. I was in love with a man who was promised to another. This big secret changed everything. 4. Everything is lost. A picture of Ken and me appeared online. Someone shared it, and suddenly many people saw it. It showed us together, and it proved we were having a secret relationship. This photo caused a big scandal. Ken's family, and especially his fiancée's family, found out the truth. They were very angry. The first thing that happened was terrible news from my work. The hotel manager called me. He was very serious. He said that because of the photo and the scandal, I could not work at the hotel anymore. I was fired. I felt a shock. My job was important for me. Now I had no job. I felt very scared about the future. Then my family found out. They saw the photo and read the news. They were furious. My parents were always strict. They said I brought shame to the family name. They shouted at me. They called me terrible names. They said I was a bad person because I was with an engaged man. They told me to leave their house immediately. They said I was no longer their daughter. This was the most painful thing. My own family turned against me. I had no job, no money, and no home. My family had sent me away. I had nowhere to go. I walked in the streets, feeling lost and empty. I felt like my whole world had ended. Everything I had worked for, my independence, my relationship with my family, my job, it was all gone. All because of loving Ken in secret. I didn't know what to do or where to go. I had nothing. I felt so alone. Ken contacted me. He knew about the photo and what happened. He saw how much I had lost. He told me he was sorry. He offered me help. He said I could come and live with him for now. He said he would make sure I was safe and had a place to stay. It was a difficult choice. Ken was the reason for all my problems. Being with him had cost me everything. But he was the only person offering me help when everyone else had left me. I had no other options. I had nowhere else to go. My situation was desperate. So I said yes. I agreed to live with Ken. It was strange. I was going to live with the man who was the cause of my pain, the man who was still engaged to another woman. He had not broken off his engagement to Vanessa. He was still planning to marry her for his family's business. I was homeless and had no job. I had lost my family's love. I had lost my good name in public. Everything important in my life was gone. I was living with Ken, but he was not free. He was still tied to another woman. It felt like I had lost everything, but I still did not have the one thing I wanted most, Ken, completely free and choosing only me. My life was completely different now. It was full of uncertainty and sadness. I had paid a very high price. 5, waiting for him. I was living with Ken now. It felt strange. One day, I met Ken's fiancée. Her name was Vanessa. It was a difficult meeting. Vanessa was not kind to me. She looked at me and laughed. She said cruel words. She told me I was not good enough for Ken. She made me feel small and unimportant. She was very dismissive. After I met Vanessa, I talked to Ken. I asked him about her words. Ken looked tired. He asked me to be patient. He said, "Please, Pam, wait for me." He promised me that he would fix everything soon. He told me he would end the engagement with Vanessa. He said he just needed a little time. I wanted to believe him. I loved him. I had lost so much already. My job was gone. My family did not talk to me. I had no home before he offered me a place here. So I decided to trust Ken. I decided to wait. But days started to pass. Then weeks passed. Nothing changed. Ken was still living with me, but he was still engaged to Vanessa. He did not break the engagement. He did not fix everything like he promised. I started to feel very alone even when Ken was near. I felt like a secret. Was I just hidden away while he lived his real life with Vanessa? I began to doubt his words. Was he telling me the truth? Or was he lying? Was he just keeping me here because he felt sorry for me? Or maybe because it was easy for him? Every day felt long. I waited for him to say, "It's done. I chose you." But he never said it. The waiting was hard. It made my heart hurt. I started to wonder if he would ever truly choose me over his family and his life with Vanessa. The hope I had started to become smaller and smaller. I felt like I was just waiting for something that would never happen. 6. The real reason. Pam was living in Ken's large house. It felt cold and empty to her sometimes, even with him there. She felt like a guest, not a part of his life. One afternoon, she was tidying up his study. She opened a small, old wooden drawer. Inside, under some business papers, she saw a folded letter. It looked old and important. Her name was not on it, but she felt a strange pull to read it. She carefully took the letter out. The paper was thin and yellowed with age. She unfolded it slowly. The writing was neat but difficult to read in some places. It was signed by Ken's father. Pam started to read the words carefully. The letter explained many things about the family's wealth and future. Then she saw the part about Ken. It said that Ken must marry the woman chosen for him, Vanessa. The letter was very clear. If Ken did not marry Vanessa, he would lose his inheritance. He would not get any money from his family. He would not control the family business. He would be left with nothing. Pam's hands began to shake badly. This was the truth Ken had not told her completely. He had said the engagement was for business, but he had not said he would lose everything if he broke it. His hesitation, his waiting, was not just difficult. It was a choice between her and all his future wealth. He was afraid to be poor. This was the real reason he had stayed engaged. A deep pain filled Pam's chest. She had lost her job, her family, her good name. She had become homeless and had nothing. She had given up everything she had for him, but he was not willing to give up his money for her. He was choosing money over her love. She put the letter back slowly in the drawer. She could not stay here. Not anymore. She could not live with a man who valued his wealth more than her. She felt a new strength rise inside her. She had to leave and find her own way. Pam went to a quiet corner of the house. She found paper and a pen. Her hand was steady now as she wrote. She wrote a letter to Ken. She wrote that she understood everything now. She wrote that she could not stay and wait for him. She wrote that she was leaving. She did not write about how much she hurt. She did not write about his choice. She just wrote that she was going away to start a new life alone. She finished writing. She folded the letter and put it on his desk where he would surely see it. Then she went to her room. She packed a small bag. Just a few clothes, some money she had saved, and the letter from Ken's father. She did not take anything else from the big house. She did not want anything that came from his family's money. It was late at night. Everyone was asleep. Pam walked quietly to the front door. She opened it and stepped outside. The air was cool. She closed the door softly behind her. She did not look back at the big, dark house. She started walking. She did not have a car. She would go to the nearest town and find a bus or train. She wanted to go far away. To a small, quiet town where life was simple. A place where nobody knew her name. A place where she could be just Pam and nobody knew about Ken or his family or the scandal. She needed to build a new life completely by herself. She walked towards the road, leaving the past behind her. It was hard, but she knew it was the right choice. She was finally free to find herself. 1 year later, 1 year passed. Pam lived in a small town far away from the city. It was a very quiet place, surrounded by hills and trees. She felt much more peaceful now than she had in a long time. She worked hard every day. She saved her money carefully, little by little. After 6 months, she had enough. She found a small, empty shop and decided to open her own cafe. It was a simple, comfortable place. She painted the walls a warm yellow color. She put in old wooden tables and chairs she bought from a second-hand shop. She bought a good coffee machine. She made delicious coffee and sold cakes and cookies that she baked herself in a small kitchen at the back. People in the town were friendly and kind. They came to her cafe to talk, read newspapers, and drink coffee. Pam liked her new life very much. It was calm and steady. She felt independent and strong. She was not the Pam who worked at the big hotel anymore. She was Pam, the owner of the Daily Grind Cafe in a small town. She still thought about the past sometimes, about Ken and her old life, but it didn't hurt so much now. She was building her life again, brick by brick, alone. One rainy afternoon, the small bell above the cafe door rang. Pam was behind the counter, cleaning a cup. She looked up, her hand stopped. Ken stood in the doorway, rain on his coat. It was really him. After 1 year of nothing, he looked different. Thinner, maybe. His face was tired, but his eyes searched for her. When he saw her, a small, hopeful smile appeared on his face. He walked slowly to a table by the window and sat down. Pam felt her legs tremble slightly. She walked around the counter and went to his table. "Hello, Pam," he said softly, his voice low and familiar. "Ken," she replied, her voice quiet too, full of surprise. It felt strange to say his name after so long. He asked if he could sit and talk for a moment. Pam nodded. She sat down opposite him, her heart beating fast. He took a deep breath, looking at his hands on the table. "Pam, I'm so sorry," he began. He told her that he broke his engagement with Vanessa. He did it just a few weeks after she left. He told his family he could not marry Vanessa, that it was wrong. Because he broke the engagement, he lost his inheritance. He gave up all the family money and his place in the business. He explained that he searched for her for many months. He didn't know where she went. He traveled to many small towns, asking people, hoping to find her. He wanted to find her. He needed to tell her everything. He said he understood why she left him. He said he should have chosen her before. He looked into her eyes, hope clear in his face. "I gave up everything," he said again, his voice stronger now. "I chose love. I chose you, Pam. I want you back." He waited, watching her face carefully. 8, a new start. Ken stood there in my small cafe. He looked different, tired, but with hope in his eyes. He had told me everything about giving up his family's money, about looking for me for many months. My heart felt heavy. It was hard to forget the past, the pain, the lies. I had lost so much because of him. For a moment, I did not know what to say or do. Forgiveness was difficult. The memories of losing my job, my family, and my home came back strongly. But then I looked at him closely. I saw that he was truly sorry. I saw the love in his eyes, the same love I remembered from our secret meetings by the lake. He was not the same man who had put money and family business before me. He had made a choice. He chose love over money, over his name, over everything easy. He had lost his inheritance for me. He had searched and searched until he found me here, in this quiet town, in my new, simple life. This showed me he was serious this time. I thought about the past year. I had built this cafe. I had found strength I did not know I had. I had found myself. I was no longer the young woman who depended on a man or her family. I was independent. And maybe, just maybe, we could have a different kind of future now. I took a deep breath. It was a risk. But standing there looking at him, I knew I still loved him. He had hurt me deeply, but he had also come back and given up everything for me. I walked towards him. He reached out his hand. When our hands met, it felt right. We did not need a big house or lots of money. We had each other. We decided to start again from nothing. We would build our future together slowly, with honesty and love as our only foundation. I had lost my old life completely, but here, with him, I felt I had found a new one. I had lost everything for him, but I found myself, and I found love again.